The next thing is, how do you prepare yourself to deal with a world that is that way? Okay. And one of the things, now there are many ways. First of all, knowledge is number one. Okay. Knowledge is number one. Getting your spirit and head right is number one and two. Okay. Without that knowledge, there's no framework for dealing with it. Okay. But of utmost importance that can never be left at the doorstep is you have to maintain physical preparation for what you might have to do in a world such as that. Because to think that it may never come to any physical altercation, you are a naive child if that is what you think. And this is just, it's part of like just growing up, putting the big boy pants on, putting the big girl pants on, realizing this is a very real contingency. This may be something that you're going to have to deal with. As a matter of fact, it's something we all should be equipped to deal with, but almost hardly any human beings are. And first of all, this is because we're buying it in New Age nonsense, religious nonsense, okay, that is all about false forgiveness. See, this connects in with my New Age BS presentations, okay, because I talk about in there and in Streetwise Spirituality what real forgiveness is, right? It's not about like saying, I forgive these people for what they have done. They haven't asked for forgiveness. Real forgiveness is a two-way street in which one person is saying, I know I'm wrong. Will you forgive me and not take any repercussive action? Then if you forgive them, you say, okay, we'll start fresh. We'll let it start here as long as you don't do that thing again. That's true forgiveness. We use this term forgiveness to mean that I'm going to say, it's okay, and I'm not going to get angry about anything that you've done when you haven't expressed any remorse at all, when the psychopath hasn't expressed remorse. That's not forgiveness. That's a process called I'm letting go of those feelings because I don't want those feelings damaging me. Okay, but that's not real forgiveness. Forgiveness and letting go are two separate things, and people have to make that awareness. Okay, so what I'm talking about is what you have to first do is get into the mindset where you recognize what these people are, you recognize what they're doing, you realize how wrong it is, and you are going to get angry about it. You're not going to let that completely consume you because you're still going to move forward and try to educate people, right? So it doesn't consume you 24 hours a day, right? But you're angry enough to make the preparations that you need to make to deal with them, not only in the mind and in showing other people that they're wrong, their way of being is wrong, their way of life that they're suggesting is wrong, is morally wrong, okay, and shouldn't be the way that we are living. But you may have to deal with them in the physical domain, and I mean through combat. So let's not mince words, through actually taking their lives. Okay, this is a contingency that may occur, and we're barreling toward it. We're not waltzing toward it. We're barreling down the side of over the cliff toward that contingency and eventuality because of how ignorant our population is. We are barreling toward war, and if people don't realize that, they're very, very, very dumb. Is all I could say, to just put it as blunt as it could be put. Okay, so again, the New Age movement has made people take this attitude of, we'll forgive them. They don't want your forgiveness. They look at you as a contemptuous being by even suggesting it. That's what a psychopath does. Psychopath doesn't feel love. They don't care about what you care about or feel. A psychopath is going to keep coming like a wild animal. A vicious wild animal. They're never going to stop, ever. That's the realization that people have to make about what psychopathy is. The psychopath doesn't care about your forgiveness of them. They view that with utter contempt. And that makes them come harder at you and for your rights. You know, that's all it does. It emboldens them. Psychopaths don't understand anything but being physically stopped. If everybody around them said, screw you, we know that that's wrong, we're not cooperating with you, that would be one way of mitigating the psychopath. But do we have a moral population? Do we have a population moral enough to do that? Unlikely. Very unlikely.